I was trapped in my old bedroom from childhood, my entire body rigid and unresponsive. My thoughts raced in panic, but my breathing was shallow and labored. I couldn't shift a muscle or cry out for help. All I could do was listen intently. Heavy footsteps echoed through the hallway, measured and purposeful. The door remained cracked open, never fully closed. From the shadows beyond, my sister's voice drifted in, eerily composed and even. Just make it look natural. Then, a stranger, a man I'd never laid eyes on, entered the room. He bent over me, pressing fingers to my neck to feel for a pulse. In that horrifying moment, a wave of dread washed over me. I realized this wasn't about rescue. Something infinitely more sinister was unfolding. My name is Emily. I'm 35 years old now. For much of my life, I've mastered the art of fading into the background without ever leaving the space. These days, I reside in North Carolina, a safe distance from the home where I was raised. My career as a lead data specialist offers the kind of steady, thoughtful work that demands accuracy and rewards careful observation. I appreciate data because it's impartial. It doesn't judge or favor anyone. When figures don't align, the reality always emerges in time. My family, however, never operated with such fairness. To outsiders, we appeared perfectly ordinary. A tidy home in a peaceful Ohio neighborhood, framed pictures adorning the walls, festive meals filled with the aroma of baked ham, and slightly overdone biscuits. A casual visitor might assume harmony reigned, but behind closed doors, strict roles defined us, and I was perpetually the one on the sidelines. My father, Robert, craved authority far more than genuine connection. He delivered statements like verdicts, rarely inviting dialogue. My mother, Diane, had long ago discovered that quiet compliance preserved fragile calm. My younger sister, Sophia, commanded attention effortlessly, vibrant, magnetic, always drawing every gaze. From early on, I understood affection and approval weren't shared equally. Sophia's successes highlighted exemplary upbringing. Mine were dismissed as flukes or overlooked entirely. The sole person who truly acknowledged my presence was my grandmother, Margaret. She'd invite me to linger at the kitchen table after others departed, pushing a warm cup of herbal tea my way and murmuring, "You see the details that truly count." Her passing left the home feeling barren and chilled. At her service, I noted my father's expression, devoid of sorrow, almost eased. I convinced myself back then that mourning manifests differently for everyone. Shortly before she died, Grandma Margaret handed me a modest metal container. "Keep this private from your father," she warned. "Open it only when you're fully independent. You'll grasp its importance then." I stored it away, assuming it held cherished keepsakes, nothing urgent. Years passed. When my mother underwent hip replacement surgery, I returned to Ohio to assist during recovery. I took 2 weeks from my job, sufficient time to revert to familiar patterns, preparing meals, tidying up, and minimizing my footprint. Just days before heading back to North Carolina, I received official notice of undeclared funds, a substantial sum I'd never touched. I chalked it up to clerical error. How I regret that dismissal. It wasn't a glitch. It marked the initial fracture in a long-concealed family secret. Those initial days in the old house stirred uncomfortable memories. I'd rise early to brew coffee, which my mother hardly sipped. I'd support her to the living room, refresh dressings, and organize medications into weekly dispensers. My father lingered in thresholds, issuing directives rather than lending hands. Sophia visited briefly twice, each time styled as if en route to something glamorous. She'd snap-pose photos with Mom, captioning them caring for my dear one online, then depart after mere minutes. No one challenged the facade they never had. By the fourth evening, profound fatigue weighed on me. That house had a subtle way of sapping vitality, like an unnoticed drain until emptiness overtook you. Unexpectedly, Sophia appeared in my doorway, cradling a steaming cup. "You've been handling so much," she said, her tone unusually gentle. "This should help you rest deeply." The brew carried a mild, honeyed scent, perhaps lavender disguised as soothing. I paused briefly, feeling silly for doubting. After all, She was family. This was our shared home. I accepted and sipped. Soon, numbness spread from my limbs upward. It crept in subtly, a growing weight, as if my form had detached from my will. Attempting to rise, I barely reached the bed's edge before collapsing back. Limbs grew leaden, fingers unresponsive. Terror flooded me, yet my voice failed. I remained fully conscious, imprisoned within myself. Through the thin gap in the door, hallway glow filtered in. A figure paused. Sophia's whisper carried, firm and assured, follow through on what Dad instructed. The door stayed ajar. Measured steps entered. The intruder navigated cautiously, avoiding disturbance. The bed sank under added weight. Fingers probed my throat. Pulses steady, the man grumbled. The dose hit stronger than planned. Dread gripped me tighter. Keep it down, Sophia hissed. She'll recall nothing. I yearned to thrash, to shout. Instead, I fixated on a familiar ceiling fissure from my teenage years. It's necessary, my father interjected remotely. Sophia pressed on. After the proceeding, details won't matter. That term, proceeding, pierced the haze like a blade. This wasn't kindness or mishap. It was orchestrated. The man wavered. This doesn't sit right. You're committed now, Sophia countered coolly. Ensure it appears accidental. They exited, the door latching gently. In the ensuing hush, resolve ignited within me. This transcended rivalry or indifference. It was calculated elimination. My own blood wasn't shielding me. They sought my obliteration. Whatever that impending proceeding entailed, one certainty burned. Surviving until dawn in that house meant departing only on their terms. Time warped agonizingly in their absence. The substance's hold eased gradually, beginning with subtle twitches in my extremities. Welcome discomfort signaling return of control. I feigned deep slumber, regulating breaths to deceive any observers. Later, the door inched open again, lighter tread this time. Sophia's signature fragrance preceded her. She lingered, scrutinizing. Still unconscious, she noted softly, then withdrew. Certain of solitude, I parted my eyelids. Faint outdoor illumination seeped through worn drapes. My frame ached as if battered, yet mobility trickled back. There, partially concealed by the bedside table, lay a plain business card. Trembling, I eased to the floor and retrieved it. It bore a name and profession, private investigator. Adrenaline surged, not fear now but sharp focus. Sophia lacked the cunning for such schemes. She executed orders, not devised them. Another orchestrated this. Father's muffled voice resonated from afar, crisp, decisive. Is it handled? A beat. Excellent. Proceeding approaches. Maintain her composure meantime. Nausea rose. This spanned documents, schedules, a scripted future silencing me permanently. I bided until stillness reclaimed the home. Dressing proved laborious, each rustle amplified. Creaks accused as I crept past parental and sibling doors, noting Sophia's even slumber. The entrance yielded quietly. Crisp night air invigorated me. I didn't halt until seated in my vehicle. Driving 20 minutes steadied my grip enough for coherent thought. At a quiet pull-off, I idled, processing lingering haze. Examining the card, risk loomed in contacting him, yet inaction terrified more. The call connected after rings. Initial drowsiness sharpened upon my introduction. You were in my room, I stated. You monitored my heartbeat. Stunned quiet. You're conscious, he replied. You weren't meant to be. I overheard it all, I pressed. My sister, father, the proceeding. Extended silence. Then heed me closely, he urged. This exceeds domestic strife. Its lawful machinery already engaged. For ages, I'd equated invisibility with security. That night shattered the illusion. It rendered me vulnerable. Reclaiming autonomy demanded voice, not retreat. Marcus, that investigator, spared no illusions when we met over coffee in North Carolina the next dawn. Your father petitioned for guardianship, he explained. Approval grants him dominion over assets, choices, even residence. Steam curled from my cup as I absorbed. Basis? Alleged fiscal recklessness, mental fragility. Bitter amusement stirred. Marcus elaborated. Months of fabricated evidence, transactions, debts in my name, maneuvers painting instability. And Sophia? She genuinely thinks safeguarding parents, he admitted. He fed her falsified proofs of your theft. A pang, not pity but piercing insight. He passed documents. Deeper layers exist. To halt this, secure counsel immediately. Thus, attorney Laura Kim became pivotal. Direct and incisive, she probed efficiently, noting without distraction. Recounting the bedroom ordeal, her expression hardened subtly. Beyond elder-like exploitation, she declared. This embodies domination, and chronology is critical. Hearing date? This Friday. She glanced at timepiece. We accelerate. That day, in my haven, I unsealed Grandma's tin. Within, aged letter and folded paper. Her script trembled yet recognizable. Detailing father's post-death deceptions, diverted inheritance meant for me, her dread of unchecked greed. Beneath, authentic will. Laura reviewed intently, exhaling deeply. This reshapes the battlefield. By Thursday Eve, we'd constructed an irrefutable counter-narrative. Financial trails reversing blame, forgeries exposed, chronology dismantling his claims. Friday, I entered court in a trusted deep blue ensemble, poised as never before. Father sat assuredly, posture proprietary. Mother beside, gaze averted. Sophia absent. Robert's surprise flashed unguarded as I approached. You have no place here, he murmured. I offered no reply, settling beside Laura, palms steady. Proceedings open per his script, counsel evoking worry, kinship a wayward child. Selective exhibits advanced. Then Laura rose, measured, unflinching. She highlighted flawed residency claims, absent notices, suspicious timings. Terms escalated, misrepresentation, coercion, outright deceit. Judicial demeanor shifted. Laura introduced Grandma's true will, elucidating misappropriated funds never under my stewardship. She invited my testimony. I responded precisely. Employment, finances, self-management competence. Evaluators' bewilderment grew. Rationale for petition? Silence enveloped. Guardianship denied instantly, probe into filing mandated. Father rose abruptly, misunderstanding. Resume seat, judge commanded. I witnessed his facade fracture, not dread of penalty, but unveiling. Post-session, Sophia confronted, Ashen, you deceived us. No, I countered calmly. I ceased excusing reality. Her retort faltered. Uncertainty replaced scripted confidence. Subsequent weeks unveiled layers. Traced funds, verified forgeries, all mirroring accusations he'd leveled. Charges mounted, no outreach or remorse from him. Only claims of my orchestration against him. At sentencing, my daughter lacks stability, ever envious. Judge, proof indicates contrary. Substantial term imposed. Sophia's probation required therapy. Accountability sans full pardon. Afterward, tears streaked. I was unaware, believed I aided. You never inquired, I noted. That defines it. She absorbed the gravity. Mother uttered nothing. Her quietude now echoed repercussion, not refuge. Alone post-final proceedings, crisp air enveloped me. Anticipated elation yielded to grounded calm. That fateful night didn't destroy, it illuminated truth. And now, visibility defined my path forward. Resolution arrived steadily, like calm after storm. Probes confirmed evidence. Father's fabrications collapsed sequentially. Sentence delivered on overcast day. Undeniable criminality. Escorted away, he avoided my gaze as always, truly. Sophia's lighter outcome, probation, therapy, growth opportunity amid accountability. Her apology rang sincere outside court, yet restoration eluded. Mother relocated, her long-standing hush trailing like shadow. Back in North Carolina, I acquired a modest waterfront home. Dawns brought genuine peace. Sleep came unbolted from fear. Justice manifested not as victory cry, but firm footing unassailable. Long I conflated silence with safety. Error profound. Kinship grants no license for domination or muting. Affection demands no blind submission. Self-preservation isn't greed. If you felt labeled erratic, unappreciative, or erased merely for self-defense, trust your reality. It's not delusion. If this tale stirred something within, share below and subscribe. More accounts of resilience and revelation await.